yourselves, it is Cork, obviously. I know it started Dan. Despite losing the All Ireland final and despite finishing third in Munster, I think it's an A. I think it's an A. Like, we beat Limerick twice this year.
I disagree.
It has to be.
I disagree. I think it's a B. It's B.
Okay.
Slightly overachieved expectations. Didn't win the All Ireland. I don't see how you didn't win a Munster. You didn't win a league. I don't see how you can get an A, to be quite honest about it. Now I know Limerick and Páirc Uí game certainly felt like the All Ireland for me, but yeah, no, I mean they did beat the greatest team of all time twice in the 1 year. Something Clare never could have done. But look, that's my trophy that I lift. Yeah, no, look, I think it's a B for me, to be honest. Pat Ryan did an incredible job. He will win us on All Ireland. The players were immense when the chips were down, even though, geez, after that Waterford game, I was like, we're done. I was like, after all this now, after all the hype, and after just seeing that team, I was like, we're capable of pushing on doing something. And then we go on to lose to Clare. I know the levels improved. Still was great. No, the red card kind of thing did have an impact on that game. I think that Cork-Clare rivalry now actually is going to be very tasty next year on. I think these Cork lads are going to start saying we need to lay down a marker against these here now, to be honest about it. A lot of stuff like the McInerney thing off the ball with Alan Connolly in the final. Why on earth would Alan Connolly try to drag McInerney down running the goals? Like, I'm not getting into the referee stuff, but anyway, like, he did a good job, but there was key moments there that, yeah, but anyway. And then, weirdly enough, you're then saying Cork had an A if, you know, Jersey Pull call goes another way or something. So that's them fine margins. And I've seen all these player ratings that come out after the final. And because Clare win, they're all on 7, 8, 9s, and then the Corks are all on like 6, 7s. It's like, but then if Cork get 2 points or Robbie Flynn sticks that goal, so then suddenly all the Cork lads are on 8, 9, 7 points, and all the Clare lads are on like 6, 7. So it's just what happens when you win. But I do still think it to be. Ultimately, if you don't barely get over the line in Munster, I mean, it was a proxy point that kept us in it, like in the proxy draw that kept us in it in the Waterford tip game. And then the kerfuffle at the Clare Waterford stuff as well. Like, I mean, we were seriously lucky to get through Munster. But then, yeah, to beat Limerick was just incredible once. To go to do it again twice was amazing. The Hoggy penalty in the first game was probably the best moment of my life. How sad as that may be, it probably was. Yeah, no, look, what a ride, what a season. But for me, it's B. What about you? Think it's an A? Like, you didn't lift anything
because the thing is, like, you have to think about like the perspective of the Cork team early on in the season in Munster, in the league. I even go back then in Páirc Uí Chaoimh against Kilkenny. Cork were very, very poor that night, and we were thinking, where is this team going? In the first half in particular.
Well, yeah, the second half, I was like, okay, once we get cooking, we can cook. But it took a long time for that to come out.
And even take it back then, and even take it back against in the Waterford game, did I think Cork would reach the levels that they did towards the end of the season? I didn't know. And at the fact, like, any other year, you beat Limerick twice, one of the greatest teams of all time, twice in the championship in 1 year, you'd get an A automatically. Because, like, Limerick are an incredible team and all that. And then, when you look at it in the
that would have meant you won the All Ireland. That would have meant you won the All Ireland. Yeah. If it was Cork Limerick in the final, Cork would have lifted the All Ireland trophy, I do believe it. But this is J Mats, and J Mats doesn't always add up. I don't believe Clare would have beaten Limerick either. So it's just the luck of the draw as such, or Cork not doing enough in Munster to put themselves in a position where they can beat Limerick in the final, or whoever. So, well, or whoever. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm not buying the A shout for Cork. Not buying it.
Do you not think though at the start of the season there wasn't as much hype as there was towards the end of the season? And then when you look at the final itself, let's think about it in another universe now. Conor Lane's pull on Robbie O'Flynn would have been given as a free. Cork would have put the point over the bar, would have gone to a replay. They would have probably improved in the small little things and possibly could have beat Clare on the replay afterwards.
They would have had more room for improvement in the replay. I think the replay would have suited Cork. And yeah, it is mad. It's, again, as I said, but ultimately it didn't happen. So no trophy lifted. Even if the greatest team of all time, beaten twice, no nearer. Again, I will celebrate with that trophy for the year, and I'll have to be content with it. But yeah, no, it is what it is anyway.
This is my last argument here. Mayo in 2021, a lot of people talked about them as, slaying the Dragons in its own right in Dublin in 2021. And then Mayo absolutely flattered us even the final against Tyrone. They were worse than Cork were against Clare. That I don't think that's an unpopular opinion whatsoever. And a lot of people say that was a good season because they overcame Dublin. What's different from the Mayo campaign in 21 to the Cork campaign in 24? For my opinion, I thought Cork played better than Mayo that year. And a lot of people said Mayo had an A season in 21.
I don't know. I think we barely, as I said, we barely poxed through Munster. I was poxed through Munster. Like a draw in the Tip Waterford game kept us in it. And then the crap going on at the end of the Clare Waterford game as well also kept us in it. 2 moments my heart nearly stopped as well in those games. Like, oh, Jesus. But for me, if you don't lift the trophy, like I think in the comments, like people, I actually might think people in the comments might agree with me on this time. That Cork season was a B rather than an A because no trophy was lifted. I don't know, Matt, you're a very biased Cork fan, I think.
I just feel like I'll probably change to a B right now because of trophies lifted, but I just think the expectation at the start of the year wouldn't have been as high with many fans.
Well, for me, the expectation was we would win the All Ireland, but that's just me anyway. But I did see us coming together. People are like, "Oh, you're only talking to your whole." Well, it's like I actually did see this Cork team going on win All Ireland. It's not just because I was being a Cork supporter and saying we're going to win the All Ireland. I did see the group come together nicely. No, I didn't see the group coming together ultimately in the way it was. But Owen Downey coming in or Rob Downey coming in, like Jesus, what impetus they had on the team! Like it's incredible. I'd say two all-stars there, like the brothers playing in front of each other. Like it's absolutely mad. For Joycey to even get like moved from centre back, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, what a decision by Pat Ryan as well, to be fair. I know the injury forced his hand there and that one, etc. But oh man, it just can't be there for me.
Yeah, I actually nearly changed my mind. Even looking at some of the games, the Offaly and Dublin games were under par for Cork, and you have to count those in the championship season. So probably a B is a deserved one. They didn't get any trophies. Dublin and Offaly was under par. Waterford was very, very poor at the start of the year, especially in the first half.
We were probably under par in the final as well, by what we've shown we could play. Now, you have to give credit to Clare, a huge credit to Clare in that half as well. I don't believe for a second, I know the Cork fans got massively in on the hype, and I think it's Sparky Heave going to be very hard to come by next year, I would think. But I don't think the Cork fans got involved in the hype. Of course, the Cork fans, we have to. It's part of our nature. But I don't think the players did get involved in the hype. To be fair to them, I think Pat Ryan would be very good at keeping their feet in the ground in that regard. Especially now if they lost the final last year, they'll know they can kick on now, and they just have to put the foot down. Let the fans claim we're going to win the All Ireland, which they will because they're Cork fans. But yeah, just. I don't know. We'll have some good days with this Cork team, yet, I'm telling you.
Even looking back at it, you'd probably say B is a deserved one, and I'll give you credit on this, that because you look at championship overall, we had 3 outstanding performances: 2 against Limerick, which obviously is an incredible feat in its own right, and the Tipperary game. Let's be honest, Tip were not on it on Semple Stadium that day. They were awful. So I don't know. Would you count? I know we'll talk about Tip in a bit, but like that wasn't a vintage Tipperary performance, especially in Semple Stadium. It was like Cork outpacked them, and it was poor enough from their point of view.
They were beaten in stands. They were beaten on the pitch. They were beaten before a ball was even thrown in. They were just beaten before a ball was even thrown in that occasion. So that's one game that we were unbelievable in, and then the 2 Limerick games.
Yeah,
that's 3 games. How many were we poor in? Dublin, Offaly.
Waterford.
That's 3 straight away that we were very poor in. So that's 3 and 3. And then the Clare games were the middle of the road ones then. So yeah, look, it is what it is.
it's amazing what a discussion could do. I've changed my mind to a B. Dan's sticking with the B, but let us know in the comments what you think of this Cork rating.
It would have been B plus.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a B plus. Definitely a B plus if it was B. But yeah, we're both going for a B.